Welcome to our channel. 5 best movies to stream this weekend on Netflix, Max, Apple TV Plus, and more. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, Fly Me to the Moon, and more movie night hits just landed on streaming. The weather outside is frightful, and that means 'tis the season to curl up with some popcorn and watch what's new on the best streaming services. But with so many new movies on offer, figuring out what to watch can become a headache. That's why we're highlighting all of the hits and none of the duds that just landed on streaming. This week saw the streaming debut of Tim Burton's highly anticipated sequel, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, on Max, as well as Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum's rom-com caper, Fly Me to the Moon. Elsewhere, Clint Eastwood's critically acclaimed new suspense thriller, Juror No. landed on video-on-demand services. The gripping psychological thriller Speak No Evil made its way to Peacock, and you can find a criminally underrated war movie on Netflix, Midway. So, without further ado, let's dive into the best new movies on streaming to watch this weekend. And for more recommendations, check out the best 3 Netflix movies to watch right now in the top 10. One of this summer's biggest blockbusters, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, finally lands on streaming this week. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and Catherine O'Hara return in this highly anticipated sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 comedy horror classic. Joining the cast is Jenna Ortega, fresh off her role in Burton's Wednesday. In the decade since the original, Lydia Dietz, Ryder, has built a following as the popular host of a ghost hunting show that her estranged daughter, Ortega, is convinced is all smoke and mirrors. After a family tragedy, Lydia finds herself back in her childhood home in Winter River, where she juggles dealing with her eccentric stepmother, O'Hara, her daughter's skepticism, and, of course, the chaotic antics of the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice, Keaton. Packed with lighthearted slapstick gags and spooky fun, this family-friendly adventure balances laughs and not-so-scary frights in true Burton style. Set in the 1960s during the height of the space race, director Greg Berlanti's Fly Me to the Moon is a cross between a rom-com caper and historical fiction. Scarlett Johansson stars as marketing whiz Kelly Jones, one half of an unlikely duo alongside Channing Tatum's NASA launch director Cole Davis. The two join forces to salvage NASA's reputation amid mounting doubts about the upcoming Apollo mission's success. Their daring plan? To covertly cook up fake moon landing footage as a contingency to reassure the public, not to mention save face with Russia amid Cold War tensions, just in case the real mission goes up in flames. Clint Eastwood's latest flick, Juror No. managed to generate plenty of buzz from critics and even eke out a $10 million profit despite its extremely limited release. Nicholas Hoult stars as Justin Kemp, a member of a jury on a high-profile murder case who comes to a sickening realization as the case goes on, that he might be the killer. When Kendall Carter, Francesca Eastwood, is discovered dead beneath a bridge after a fight with her drunken boyfriend, James Scythe, Gabriel Basso, an ambitious local prosecutor aims to make an example of him in a pivotal election year. That same night, though, after Justin broke his sobriety streak at the same bar the couple was at, he hit what he assumed was a deer with his car. He's left struggling with the moral dilemma of whether to speak up or let the wrong man take the fall. After having to sit through 1,000,001 trailers for the psychological thriller about a dream vacation gone wrong, I feel like I almost have to watch it at this point. A remake of a 2022 Dutch horror movie of the same name, Speak No Evil, follows the Daltons, Louise, Mackenzie Davis, Ben, Scoot McNairy, and Agnes, Alex Westleffler, a family who hits it off with another family while vacationing in Italy. When the patriarch Paddy, James McAvoy, invites them to stay at his remote home in the British countryside, things start to feel off. The Daltons grow increasingly unnerved by how strangely their hosts act. As the unsettling events escalate, they begin to fear that their new besties have ulterior motives that could threaten their daughter's safety. Directed by Roland Emmerich, Midway is a war drama based on the true events of the most pivotal naval battle in World War II, the Battle of Midway. Through a series of gripping